Please open your Sutra book. The Infinite Life Sutra, Assembly Edition, page 15. Page 15. Lower your voice. Second, to cut off defilements, listen to what the Buddha teaches. Cultivate understanding and unique insight, and bring forth the supreme sound of the Dharma. This is mentioned earlier. We see that Amitabha Buddha, in his causal ground, his emotions, some, in all respects, are all really teaching us something, what we need to learn from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They are setting an example for us. We should seek to learn. First of all, we must have faith in our teacher, have confidence. As for ourselves, can we succeed in our studies and cultivation? The key lies right here. So Master Ain Guan said this: a bit of sincerity brings a bit of benefit. If you are completely sincere, you gain complete benefit. This is what the ancient Chinese sages spoke of: respecting the teacher and valuing the way. Actually, do teachers really wish for students to respect them? If a teacher has this thought, if they harbor this kind of mindset, then they are not a good teacher. Respecting the teacher is actually respecting the way and righteousness. It's about respecting the true teachings that you are cultivating and learning. And as for teachers in their teaching, they often use this as a standard. If a student has a bit of sincerity, the teacher will teach them a bit. If they have double the sincerity, the teacher will teach them double. If a student has 10 parts of sincerity, but the teacher only teaches them 9, then the teacher is letting that student down. If the student only has 1 part of respect and the teacher tries to teach them 2 parts, that's going too far. Why? Because that extra part just can't be absorbed. Their capacity is just too small. It's like when we are thirsty and ask someone for water. If we bring a small cup, as long as they fill our cup, that's enough. If you pour in more, it'll just spill over. But if someone brings a big cup and you only fill it halfway, how can you say you've done right by them? When we seek knowledge or pursue the way, what is this capacity we are talking about? It's a calm and tranquil mind. This is the key to our success or failure. Let's look here at Fazain and the king of free and easy in the world. These two, teacher and student. The student possesses a complete, a calm and tranquil mind. That's why the teacher gives him complete and thorough guidance. As it says in the Sutra, the teacher knows their student is brilliant and has deep and vast aspirations. This is the mark of full and complete achievement. So only then does he teach him the complete and perfect Dharma. He expounds on the 211 kinds of Buddha lands and their merits. He introduces the vast and perfect qualities. Not only does he tell him about them, he also reveals all the Buddha lands of the 10 directions, displaying them right before his eyes, letting him see for himself, letting him choose for himself. These aspects are what we should learn from. We need to understand them clearly. Let's look again and imagine the world-honored one in the Contemplation Sutra of Infinite Life Buddha, what he manifested. As soon as I mention it, the Queen, when she encountered upheaval in the country and faced great calamity, she no longer wished to remain in this world. She aspired to be reborn in the pure lands of the Buddhas. She sought guidance from Shakyamuni, the world-honored one. She asked for his direction. The world-honored one was extremely compassionate and also very wise. He spoke about Pure Lands Buddhas. He also displayed them right before her eyes. He let her choose for herself. Lady Vaidehi chose the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss of Amitabha Buddha. This Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss was introduced to her by Shakyamuni Buddha. He didn't persuade her to go there. All the Buddha lands of the 10 directions were laid out before her, and she was free to choose whichever one she liked. So, everyone, think about it. Lady Vaidehi was no ordinary person, was she? If you ask why she chose Amitabha Buddha's pure land of ultimate bliss and not any of the other numerous Buddha lands, as the saying goes, you don't fear not knowing the goods, you only fear comparing the goods. When you compare all the Buddha lands laid out before you, let's note the time. So, many people wonder why we should go to the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss. And that's a valid question. After all, in Buddhism there are 84,000 Dharma doors, and every path leads to enlightenment. You can practice whichever method you like. The Buddha never forces anyone. If even the Buddha doesn't force people, what right do we have to force anyone? These are the words of Master Shandao. People are different, and so is their language. So, consequently, the benefits they ultimately gain are also quite distinctive and varied. If you have the karmic connection to encounter this Dharma teaching, it's not an easy thing, is it? The Buddha explains this so clearly and thoroughly in this sutra. If you come across this opportunity, you must cherish it. But, as Zhuge also knew, among all the Dharma doors, this is the foremost method for scholars. How could there be no interference from demons? How could there be no jealousy? Our community is no exception either. There are people who try to undermine our lecture hall, and there are also people who try to disrupt our chanting hall. If I didn't come, I'd know. I understand. Why is that? If no one tried to cause trouble, and everyone was happy, then there would be no disasters among sentient beings in this world. Society chaotic, it's impossible. Who comes to cause trouble? Demons come to cause trouble. Evil beings come to stir things up. As the saying goes, when the way rises a foot, the demon rises 10. Whether it's worldly or spiritual matters, if you want to do something good, there will be people who are jealous of you. Zhong Ailing. There are far too many who will try to undermine you. That's completely normal. If you do something good and everything goes smoothly, with no one trying to sabotage you, that's not normal. We've never seen this has been the case since ancient times. When Shakyamuni Buddha was in the world, the 62 heretical paths and the 6 groups of monks, problems inside and out. Even the world-honored one faced this when he was alive, especially during the Dharma ending age. The key is that we ourselves must act righteously. If we achieve something ourselves, how others speak or act is their own business, especially in today's society, with democracy, freedom, and openness. As long as someone doesn't break the law, no one has the right to interfere with them. So, when we study the teachings and recite the Buddha's name, we just need to manage ourselves well. As for other people's matters, if we have the affinity, we can help them, as I have said. We wait for future opportunities. And future doesn't mean this lifetime. It could be the next life, or even many lives and eons from now. Don't be too impatient, thinking, I must help them achieve enlightenment in this life. Even Buddhas and Tathagatas can't do that. Do you really have that ability? So, when we see this kind of situation, we should understand that this is the Buddhas and Tathagatas training our patience and deepening our concentration and wisdom. So, the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas often lay everything out clearly and completely before you, allowing you to choose for yourself which particular method is truly and ultimately best. I myself didn't like the Pure Land practice right from the start, either. Back then, Teacher Lee tried to persuade me. He truly used skillful and expedient means. I was with him for 10 years. As for how many times he tried to persuade me, I honestly can't remember. But I just didn't oppose it, that's all. I didn't accept it, though. When people tried to persuade me, I'd think, you like that practice, but I prefer another one. Especially since the Buddha made it so clear in the Prajnaparamita Sutras that all Dharma doors are equal. There's no difference between them. If you practice that method, that's great. If I practice this one, that's fine too. Why does it have to be the same? So, how did I end up choosing this practice? Honestly, it was thanks to the 17 years I spent lecturing on the Avatamsaka Sutra. I made a comparison while studying the Avatamsaka Sutra. This Pure Land practice is actually quite good. Honestly, I was just a scholar. That's why the ancient masters said, the Avatamsaka leads to the Lotus Sutra. But it's really just a guide to the Infinite Life Sutra. I agree with that statement. Why did I end up taking this path? It was the Avatamsaka teachings that led me to Pure Land. So how did I come to embrace Pure Land? In the Avatamsaka Sutra, I saw that Manjushri and Samantabhadra both aspired to be reborn in the land of ultimate bliss. They come from the flower treasury world and the realm of Vairocana Buddha. They are his two main attendants. We call them the three sages of the West. Both of these figures are said to be ancient Buddhas returning. They appear as equal enlightenment bodhisattvas. And among the countless Dharma doors, they chose the Western Pure Land, a truly serene realm. So I deeply believe that was a choice made with the highest wisdom. We ourselves don't have that kind of ability. Later on, I read about Siddhartha's 53 visits. Siddhartha, too, chose this Dharma door and attained enlightenment in one lifetime. He achieved perfect Buddhahood without having to wait for a second life. It was when I saw these ideas that I suddenly became enlightened. What did I realize? That relying on our own deluded thoughts, discriminations, and attachments, we cannot succeed. We still have to follow the Buddha's teachings if we want a way out. So then I thought of what the Buddha said in the 3 sutras of the One Teaching. He said, if you haven't attained the state of an arhat, don't trust your own ideas. You should rely on the Buddha's teachings. But after you've truly reached arhatship, then you can trust your own mind. Why? Because you've already become evidence yourself. You're no longer deluded. At that point, you can trust yourself. But if you trust yourself before attaining arhatship, you're perpetuating rebirth. Why? Because your mind is samsara. If you trust mind caught in samsara and create karma, you continue rebirth. These principles, these truths, we really can't afford to be unclear about them. We must understand them thoroughly. And now, in this the very present era, the Shurangama Sutra puts it, teachings are like sand in the Ganges. Here we are in this environment. How can we establish a firm foundation in the teachings? Only then can we hope to achieve realization in this very lifetime. But if you let even a single stray thought arise, you're in big trouble. As soon as you have even one deluded thought, the demons notice it. They'll come to you, pretending to help, and will amplify your delusions to 7, 8, 9, even 10 times as much. And you won't even realize it yourself. They're actually helping you fall into ruin, helping you to enjoy worldly pleasures, to follow the wrong path. Good, right? And you'll even like it. You'll even thank them for it. They have no other way to tempt people except through fame, profit, sensual pleasures, and the six sense objects. They help you increase your greed, anger, ignorance, and arrogance. But the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are the complete opposite. When they bless you, they truly and indeed help you cultivate concentration and wisdom. They help you grow in discipline, concentration, and wisdom, and extinguish greed, anger, and ignorance. That is the Dharma. That is the power of the Buddha's blessing. So, what is a Buddha's blessing? What is a demon's blessing? You need to be absolutely clear about this. When we have thoughts and intentions, are we in tune with the Buddha or with demons? In this day and age, we cannot afford to be without vigilance. We cannot afford to be unclear about this. Today's passage, number 20, is about the Buddha, King of freedom in the world. He expounded the Dharma for him. He revealed to him the Buddha lands of all Buddhas at that time. The Buddha spoke the Dharma to him, and he heard everything the Buddha said. The Buddha manifested the realms before him, and he saw them as well. Discipline, abstaining from drugs. This part here is very clear. He received the empowerment of the Buddha's power. Why is that? Because without the empowerment of the Buddha's power, the Buddha lands of all Buddhas in the 10 directions, you would not have the ability to see them. He saw them with his own eyes and understood in his heart. Reading refers to what you see with your eyes. The following of seeing means understanding clearly in your heart. It's all clear now. So he truly gave rise to the most supreme and unsurpassed great vow. So, how did Amitabha Buddha's great vow come about? Why did he make 48 vows, and where did these 48 vows arise from? This is explained clearly to us here. The previous few sections are about the history of the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss. The origin of the great vows is also wordless. The ancient masters, in their commentaries, briefly listed a few facts. The supreme and unsurpassed vows are truly dignified and proper. The Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss is governed by virtue, not by force. It is an environment for cultivation and study, and a living environment as well. This is the proper retribution. The people who are reborn in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss are incredibly dignified and majestic. This is something not found in the Buddha lands of all other directions. Where does this dignity lie? It lies in the fact that there is no regression. In the Buddha lands of other directions, the practitioners there all experience regression. But in the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss, there is no regression. There is no regression at all. In some other Buddha lands, there might still be. Some who do not regress. But complete and perfect non-retrogression has truly never been heard of. Being reborn in the Western Pure Land means you immediately attain the 3 types of non-retrogression. Just think about this kind of dignity. Even after thoroughly reading the entire Buddhist canon, I've never heard of any other Buddha land having such a thing. So what exactly is going on here? Let's look at the next section. In the 48 vows, it's further explained to everyone. Dash. Bodhisattva Dharmakara. Observe the worlds of all Buddhas in the 10 directions. He adopted the good aspects, and the bad aspects he discarded. That's why the Western Pure Land is the combination of all the Buddha lands in the 10 directions. The ultimate gathering of all their splendor and magnificence. All the merits and advantages of every Buddha land are fully present there. It is completely free of any flaws found in other Buddha lands. So, he truly fulfilled his vow, not only to become a Buddha, but to surpass all other Buddhas. He accomplished this. Secondly, regarding the path, that is why this world is called the land of ultimate bliss. There is no suffering there. Here in this world, we endure suffering. Especially now. The whole world is in turmoil and unrest. People have nothing to rely on. In Buddhist terms, there is no place of refuge. It shows a restless and agitated mind. In ordinary times, if someone displays signs of restlessness and agitation, it means that person is either gravely ill or about to face a significant disaster. Why is that? Because it's not normal. Restlessness and agitation are signs that someone is about to get sick or encounter misfortune. These are bad omens. If, in society as a whole, most people are restless and agitated, and everyone feels anxious and uneasy, then that's a real problem. That region will fall ill. That region will experience disaster. We can observe this from history. Just look at China, look at other countries. Whenever these signs appear, disaster tends to follow. Both fortune and misfortune have their omens. If a person's mind is calm and peaceful,